Doom the Dark Ages is coming May 15th and 2 days early if you get the early access. I was invited to a press event and developer Q&A with Hugo and Marty, got to see the game early and gather my thoughts, and I have so much to share. You're going to love it. So the first thing on everybody's mind, I know, is the OST. Who is making it? It's been a question on everyone's mind here, and we finally have an answer. It's not Mick Gordon, Andrew Hulshult, or David, and it is Finishing Move. They're a professional studio, and there's a whole lot to unpack when it comes to this. Why they go with the studio versus a contractor, what's the business side of that, and there's a whole lot of things that happened in the recent past that may have led to that decision. I've been reading on Reddit and a bunch of other places, and there's a whole lot to unpack and discuss when it comes to that. The sound is interesting because here's coming from a musician perspective. You hear a lot of different Egyptian tones, which is a Frisian scale, or mode rather, and that evokes more of the medieval Dark Ages feel that they're going for. A lot of people are concerned about the music. I think it sounded good, and to know that they are evoking that type of feel with the music to match the game is really neat. Will there be classic Doom references? That remains to be told. I don't know yet. We don't know yet, and I'm curious to see. The difficulty slider really stood out to me as well, because here's the thing. Over the years of making videos, I have had so many people come up to me and say, Austin, guess what? And I know what they're going to say. See, I've always said that Doom facilitates player progression. It's one of my favorite phrases. And what that means is that the game is designed in a way, the series is, in fact, from start to finish, 90s to now, that if the player puts in the time, learns the mechanics, works on their skill set, they will eventually improve because that is how the game is designed. So many people, people in their 50s and 60s, which is not old, by the way, as someone in their mid-30s, they will come to me and say, hey, Austin, I tried this game on easy mode when I started, and I never imagined beating Ultra Nightmare today. And it's because they put in the time and the effort and the power to get through that. And if you don't want to push for UN or Nightmare clears, that's fine. You don't have to. Do what you want to do, but don't put an artificial ceiling on your abilities and what you're actually capable of doing. But these people come to me and they are so proud of their achievements and their accomplishments. They're things that they never envisioned themselves doing in a million years, but they were able to do it because of the game's design and their true persistence. Now, with difficulty sliders, this will answer a lot of things. And as someone who focuses on combat in this channel, it's very, very interesting to me because I can draw from experience here. As someone who played modded content on the PC, there are CVARs, or different commands in the console in which you can make things faster, harder, better, faster, stronger, to show my age here, and you can make the enemies faster, the game speed, you can change the parry window, the resources, all these things you have the power to do. Console, PC, doesn't have to be modded, it's going to be vanilla in the game experience. When I did a 3x damage, extra lives, 100% run for Eternal, that means all the enemies did triple damage, I had to 100% it, and that was a great challenge. But I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a console. I had to have a modded PC. So now, not only will you be able to play Nightmare, let's say that you have issues working with, and this is great for combat too, the parry window. You can fine-tune that to fit your current skill set, and as you drill it in and practice and go and focus on that one area, you'll be able to expand on it, and you'll be able to just send that up a little bit, and it will be a great way to get better at this game, focusing on the areas that you need. You gotta love it. Now, there are more ergonomic controls, and when I say that, that means not easier, but more streamlined. Because Eternal has a lot of buttons and a lot of things to learn. They put a lot of things in your face at once, and I like it. I love it that way. I have over 900 hours in the game. You have to like it at some point to have that much, right? But what this means is more streamlined in that you might have a couple buttons. You have a melee button, you have a ranged button. I've spoke so much in the past about melee and ranged enemy units and the purpose of pressure and ranged in combat. But what this means is that you want to have a more simplified, streamlined approach. Look at a game like Left 4 Dead 2. It's not as fast-paced and intense as Doom Eternal, but it has a whole lot of skills, tech to use, and things to learn to truly master the game. This means that it's going to be a little bit easier to pick up, probably. This whole series actually has an easy to learn, hard to master, low skill floor, high skill ceiling. That means that you can pick up the game, put an hour into it, you get the basics, you get how to play it, you have some fun. Or you can put 1,000 in and truly master what the game asks of you. And that ties in with those difficulty sliders as well. You're going to pick up these controls, they're going to be more easy to understand, more basic to start off with, but all of the things the game will ask of you, the parrying, the dodging, the shoot 'em up strafing, that'll all be implemented and cohesively work with what the game wants you to do. The short to mid-range weapons will mean that you have to be up close and personal in the combat, and if you are a fan of the Under the Mayo Brawler mode, you're probably going to like this. That means the ballista will probably not make an appearance in this one. They're all new weapons mostly. And I'm not saying we're not going to have any long-range weapons or anything like that, but it's going to be a focus on the close-range combat. And the glory kill system will tie into that too, because it's going to be different. There's not going to be any sync animations. Now, a lot of people are like, hey, cool, no more glory kills. Well, those actually were really strategic, because if you were going to be attacked, you could go into a glory kill state and get iframes, invincibility, and time your glory kill to come out of it and avoid and dodge shots. Doom 2016, the existing shots would continue to fire, but no new shots would be fired, so you could utilize that to your advantage with the glory kills. Now you're going to have like 5 or 6 people and you can take them out in one fell swoop. And they did this because when the id Software was testing, they found that it was just not right. It didn't feel like it had a good flow. But when you take out those forced sync animations, which were tricky for those glory kill challenges, it comes a long way. It also comes a long way with length, because this is going to be a long game. They like to have about 1 hour max for level length, not so much maybe an hour and a half and beyond, but from the sounds of it, this is going to be the biggest scope ever. I mean, we started with 2016 being more reserved in the UAC or the Hell settings or Mars, what have you, and then we go wider with Doom Eternal, reaching out into the spaces and the heavens with the Makers, and now we have even stranger lands that we're going to be seeing with new characters. We're going to have more wide open, non-linear areas, love that, like Foundry and Argent Facility, and we're going to get to expand this huge game. The secrets, the collectibles, they're all going to matter. They're going to have more use, the currencies, the gold. That's a really interesting thing, because we haven't had gold in Doom before, right? Only Wolfenstein 3D, if you're an old guy like me. So that means you're going to have a lot of money value for what you spend. We are going to get DLC, that is confirmed. You gotta love it, probably from a different perspective. When they launched Eternal, they wanted to have you play from a different perspective than the Slayer. This is a perfect opportunity to do that, because the Slayer and the power and the whole storyline and how it ties into it, I'm curious to see. No multiplayer, which is something that I have talked about in the past when it comes to multiplayer and how it relates to games. That deserves its own video. That's a deep topic that I would like to touch on, for sure. I'm curious to see, because they want to put all their efforts into the single player. No multiplayer, let them do the Atlan scenes, let them do the Dragon scenes, and it's curious to see what they'll have. I mean, we do have these weapons like melee with the gauntlet, the mace, and the flail. With these 2 buttons, we're going to switch them in and out as needed. Hugo likes using the gauntlet in the late game, so this will give us more options to be able to help us out, right? Because, you look at the chainsaw. It was basically a reload button in Eternal and, well, sort of 2016. And now we have even more things to be able to swap in and out. I play Clash of Clans. I like having the ability to have different armies and things that are all effective. They're all the different metas in ways, and they work together. We're going to see old characters like the Betrayer and the Hell Priest before they were turned over, and new characters too. I have some theories. I've been talking to some friends about this. They've seen this footage today on the reveal, and we are excited about it. I can't wait to show you on videos. There's going to be some stuff. It's going to blow your mind. I'm curious to see where they go with this, and I have some ideas, right? It's a show, don't tell, out of the codex into the cutscenes, and there is going to be a lot of combat-related stuff there. It's really exciting. I'm not making this up. It's really exciting. I cannot wait to tell you and show you. And this reveal, oh my gosh, I watched it, and I'm like, holy crap, there is so freaking much to unpack and think about. And I've been through this with 2016 and Eternal. We had so much to learn there, but I'm confident that we will have a lot of fun with this. Now, here's the problem, okay? Well, it's not really a problem. It's a good thing. There is so much to unpack from this reveal that to do it true justice and to dive in deeper like I like to do, it's going to take several videos, each dedicated to their own topic, and I'm going to do that. I just need some time. So subscribe to the channel if you want to come along that journey with me into the Dark Ages, diving in deep, breaking down the combat, the news, the guides, the updates, and everything. And check out the next video on your screen here. I've got to take a breath. I'm Austin. Join our Discord. I'm active there, and we talk about Doom, and I will see you there.